What's up guys, it's Ed from TechSource and welcome to another camera comparison test video. This video is actually highly requested by you guys, which is why I'm actually doing it. And it's no secret that the Xperia Z3 sucks taking photos and video in auto mode, so it wouldn't be fair comparing this to the G4. Which is why I'm actually doing a manual camera comparison test. Both photos and video will be done on manual mode on both of these smartphones. So because I'm shooting in manual mode, there's a lot of different possibilities. There are just so many settings you can go through to achieve the perfect shot, and that varies from person to person. Some people prefer cooler colors and some people prefer warmer colors, but for the sake of this video, I'm actually going to aim slightly towards the warmer side, and my goal is to achieve the most accurate color and the sharpest picture. But in order to achieve that, I took lots and lots of photos and videos on each phone in many different settings and basically picked the best ones to represent each phone, and I put it up against each other. But yeah, let's go ahead and see how well the Z3 does in manual mode compared to the G4 also being shot in manual mode. Let's start the video. The 22,400 mAh power bank from EC Technology is the most affordable charger you can buy in its class. You can charge up to 3 devices at the same time using the fastest charging speeds for your device, and it even comes with a built-in flashlight. It has an awesome compact design and comes in several colors. Click on the link in the description for more info. Alright, real quickly before we jump into the samples, here are the camera specs on both phones. The Z3 has a 20.7 megapixel rear-facing camera with an aperture of 2.0 that can shoot up to 4K resolution, and the G4 has a 16 megapixel camera with an aperture of 1.8 that can also shoot up to 4K resolution. For front-facing cameras, the Z3 has a 2.2 megapixel camera capable of shooting up to 1080p, and the G4 has an 8 megapixel camera also capable of shooting up to 1080p. So that's it for the specs. Let's sit back, relax, and check out some samples. So when it comes to autofocusing in manual mode, the G4 has a difficult time picking up objects. I tried filming in numerous locations with the same outcome. I also noticed that it focuses on the background instead of the object no matter how close I get to it, so I'm not sure if this is normal on all G4s or just my model. The Z3 does a much better job for the most part. At least it can detect the object most of the time and focus accurately, However, after some time it does give up and keeps the background in focus just like the G4. So the autofocusing feature is definitely different in manual mode on both of the phones compared to the auto mode. If this is the same case with your phone, then let me know by dropping a comment down below to confirm. For daylight 4K video, both deliver super sharp footage. The G4 seems to have a lot more contrast, but the colors are more vibrant with a slightly higher saturation than the Z3. The G4 has a lot more options when it comes to white balance. You can control it with a dial, whereas the Z3 has only 4 pre-configured options that you can select from. So I'm gonna give the point to the G4 for overall better 4K video quality. For low light video, the obvious point goes to the G4 since the Z3 has trouble focusing at night, which results in blurry footage. There's also a lot more noise on the Z3 than the G4. The clarity just isn't there, which is why the G4 takes the point for low light video. For the stabilization test, both phones are being filmed in 1080p to ensure optical image stabilization remains enabled, and they are both strapped onto a device for a very accurate stabilization reading. From the footage, it's apparent that the Z3 has far better stabilization than the G4, so the point goes to the Z3 for stabilization. What's up guys, this is the front-facing video camera test between the LG G4 and the Xperia Z3. Both of the phones are basically strapped onto a single device, so the stabilization is very accurate, and also they're both being shot in 1080p. There will be an audio icon somewhere on the screen, and it will basically tell you which phone's audio is being used. And also, if you're listening to this on your headphones, you guys can hear the actual background noise, so I'm going to stay quiet for a bit. For front-facing video, the G4 has a much better dynamic range. Even though the Z3 has HDR enabled, the background is still overexposed, whereas the G4 has a nice balance. For microphone audio, both sound loud and crisp. The Z3 has noticeably louder background noise, but overall both great microphones. A point to the G4 for front-facing video and a point to both for microphone quality. For daylight pics, I was able to get more truer to life pictures on the G4 than the Z3. The flowers are as red as they appear in this picture, and I couldn't achieve this using the Z3 on manual mode. The pictures are also a lot sharper on the G4, even though the Z3 has more megapixels. Even indoors, the G4 has more sharper and clear images than the Z3. Yes, the G4 does have slightly more saturation, but I'll gladly accept that if it means I get sharp, vibrant, and clear pictures. One of the advantages that the G4 has over the Z3 and essentially any smartphone is complete control of shutter speed. With it, you can lower the shutter speed to allow more light in, which means you can also lower the ISO for sharper and less noisy pictures. The Z3 doesn't stand a chance against the low light performance of the G4. I mean, look how clear the images are in the G4 shot compared to the Z3. There's just no competition. So there you have it, the G4 is the clear winner and still remains the champion of all smartphone cameras. You put it into manual mode and you have yourself a device that can even compete against DSLRs. Honestly though, the Z3 was pretty much handicapped from the beginning. I mean, even in manual mode, the selections are very limited to configure to get the shot that you want. Compared to the G4, there are just so many more options you can choose from, including the adjustability of the shutter speed, which will get you some really nice, crispy, low light footage. Anyways, that's it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you want to see more manual camera comparisons like this, then definitely hit that like button so I know to keep doing them. I also took some photos and video in manual mode on the Galaxy S6, and if you want to see this compared to the G4 in manual mode as well, let me know by dropping a comment down below. But anyways, let me know what you guys think about the camera comparison. Thanks again for watching. This is Zed, and I'll see you guys in the next video.